And the storage and preservation should also be a big headache for the farmers as well as the government. What is your government doing on that?
The silos, which is the exclusive preserve, or was the exclusive preserve of the federal government. So in the first instance, what we're doing is working with federal government to revamp those silos. Most of them are absolutely run down. And then there's the new one springing up. As I speak to you, there's a 25,000 metric ton silo springing up in Ikene, of course, at the expense of the federal government. But of course, they look at needs per state. So again, it's not a freebie. Some have 50, some have 100 metric ton silo, to cushion storage. As a state government, what we are doing is, you cannot, unfortunately, do your wish list. You cannot execute on your wish list because, again, it's all cost intensive. So we are looking to partner with the private sector, people who are interested in bringing silos into the state. We will link them. Our role is to now ensure that those silos are functional at all times. So the users, it's our responsibility to mobilize them when those silos are brought into the state.
So is the policy on agriculture supporting existing farmers, or is it focused on attracting investors in agriculture?
You cannot make your existing sustenance farmers, you cannot make them extinct. You must always create policies around them. And that's why we're working with the likes of International Fund for Agri Development, IFAD. And thankfully, the country director will be here at this forum. She's speaking tomorrow. Their sole focus is on smallholder farmers, 5 hectares and below. Okay? What they do is they put them in clusters, they encourage them, give them seeds, give them seedlings. I'm not saying for free, but they open up land for them, but they work with the state government because they don't know who these people are. So our job is to capture the data for all these people and ensure that whatever resources that the likes of IFAD are deploying gets to the farmers. So we do not want our farmers to become extinct. We encourage them, we keep working with them. We bought equipment, not for the big-time farmers. If I give my equipment, the little number of them that I have, to the big-time farmers, the smallholder farmers will never see them in the course of any planting season. So it's solely for that crop of farmers, the smallholders.
So are you striking a balance, because both kinds of farmers, yes, both the subsistence and mechanized farmers, they all have their advantages?
Absolutely. The big-time farmers, you find out that what they really want, what they're in dire need of is land. That's from my experience. They mostly want land. Sometimes they ask you to clear, but like I said, if I have people with 1 acre, 1 hectare, looking for my equipment, I know how long it takes to clear. I can only clear 1 hectare in a day, given the sort of equipment that I have. If I'm clearing 500 hectares, 500 days, that's somebody locking down my equipment throughout the year. So what we do to support such, we assist them with improved seedlings and cuttings, best varieties, because our role is to interface with the likes of NIHOT and RITA, get the best, plant them, and then we in turn, we call them multiplication farms, and then we in turn hand these over to the different sets of farmers.
So, if I wanted to get land for agricultural purposes, how long will it take me? And the CFO as well?
On the average, it will take you anything between 3 to 6 months. I say that advisedly because there's a process to it. You apply to us, you submit the relevant papers, which is essentially the biggest part of it is your feasibility. And I found that a lot of Nigerians don't like doing that. They say by feasibility, you just go and replicate. But the truth is, you must convince the team that's processing your application on the fact that it's a genuine need. So the committee sits. There's a committee called the Agricultural Land Allocation Committee, which I chair. It has the Surveyor General, has the Attorney General. Those are the people that sit on it. So we consider your application. If you merit it, maybe you're asking for 50 hectares. If we think you can't use the 50 hectares, at a go, we'll probably say to you 10 to 20, room for expansion, But ultimately, whatever we do, His Excellency has to sign off on it. So from our committee, when I do my report, we submit it to the governor. Of course, it falls among the pile of a lot of papers, so you have to push until it comes out. So that's why sometimes it takes a little longer. But what it does is it also calls me, sits down with me. We work through each individual list every time we submit, and then it takes a position. And once that's done, we write to you that this is it. You have your land.
It's interesting that you said, when you talked about what you're doing for smallholder farmers? Because I also remember you saying something about when investors do come in, you know, if you're giving them land that's already been occupied by smallholder farmers, then they have to pay compensation. I'm just wondering, at what point do you decide that, you know, this land can be given to big-time investors? Because if, from what the earlier respondent said, about 32% of your land has been occupied out of about 70% of cultivable land, you shouldn't run out of land, should you?
No, we won't run out of land. Issue is, you're from Lagos. You come in now to me and say, I want to farm in Ogun State. Maybe the land that's readily available is a 4-hour drive from Abeokuta. You see, we say, I don't want to go that far. Can't I have somewhere around here? Do you understand? So that's also something to contend with. Ogun State is vast. The 16,400 plus square kilometers of land is like that. Ogun State is huge, so you have to traverse the length and breadth of the state.
Are there really farmers in your state?
Are there really farmers? Absolutely, that's what we do mostly. We're an agrarian society. We do have a lot of farmers. Data captured recently, working with the federal government, registered, which I would say is a fraction of what we have, and registered because those were the ones we could reach out to within the time frame given to us by federal. I think we have close to 200,000.
Are you also targeting young people? You have a University of Agriculture
here.
Yes,
we are. We have youth empowerment programs that we're doing, and this is no cliche. We have a model farm estate where these farmers reside. They do poultry production, they do fishery, they cultivate crops, and now I'm adding greenhouses to what they're doing. I'm also working with one of the biggest poultry farmers in the state. They want to set up a broiler outgrower scheme, you know, with them. So you find out that from dawn till dusk, these folks are busy. But you know, the difference is they're on site. They live there. The conveniences are there. And within the community in which they live, they also hired help. They have hired hands that work with them. So again, we are replicating that employment generation. In addition, finding out that the younger generation, being who we are, we're impatient. We like the good things of life. We've also done our research and found out that there's certain types of farming that are very comfortable. Greenhouse farming, for instance. The tomatoes you see on billboards, okay, you don't have it in the studio. They're real. Those huge things that you're looking at. And in the course of the tour today, we'll get to the location. Those tomatoes are real. We grow them in the greenhouses. Couple of varieties. These are tomatoes that when you harvest them, put them on a table, you don't need a fridge. Put them on the table, put them on a shelf anywhere. 2 weeks shelf life. They don't even, if you touch them, they're still hard to feel. So those are the sort of things, again, that we're working on. It's cost intensive, very high cost, but ultimately, we're getting the younger generation interested in those.
Okay. All right, then. I want to thank you for coming on. Ronke Shokanfo is the Commissioner of Agriculture here in Ogun State. It's time for us to get to Melinda Kelami. She's in Lagos and she's standing by with the headline news. Go ahead, please.